this should be a competitive ball game.
Yeah, Chatham fans were reporting that it was the first time that Chatham had beaten Dan River since the 08-09 season. So it was a good win for the Cavaliers, and certainly Chatham has a good ball club this year. But tonight we're focused on Dan River and Altavista. We've got tip-off coming in less than 8 minutes. It's the Subway pregame show. Oscar and I will come back with some more analysis and tell you about the dining options at Subway. They're so wonderful, and a great crew down there tonight on Main Street. Stop in there and get yourself some dinner if you get the chance, and make your way over here to the gym. Or if you can't be here live, stick around and join us. So glad that you're listening. If you're doing it on 105.5 or at kdcountry.com, or perhaps with the brand new KD Country app. Thank you so much. It's Dan River. It's Altavista. Another quick timeout, and we return with more Subway pregame show on 105.5 KD Country.
The Altavista Office of Economic Development invites you to come find one of a kind with Altavista's unique shops, stores, and restaurants waiting for you. Personal service from local businesses. Jumpstart your business with the Altavista Office of Economic Development, helping Altavista grow with a variety of business loans available and supporting the Altavista Colonels basketball team. Good luck on another winning season.
841-1580. That's the number to know this winter when your heat pump is in trouble. D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling is the name to know for all your heating and air issues. Call 841-1580 to get Donnie and his team to your house or business fast. 841-1580. That's 434-841-1580. D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. The name to know this winter. The number to know, 841-1580.
PCM Industrial of Altavista offers mobile welding and repair services, fully equipped service trucks, certified craftsmen, and quick response to satisfy your needs. Contact PCM Industrial at powerconstruction.com. PCM Industrial is a fully insured Class A licensed contractor, OSHA and MSHA compliant. PCM Industrial Services of Altavista wishes Coach Harris and the Altavista Colonels basketball team good luck in another winning season.
Napa know-how.
When you grab a pair of Bosch Evolution Beam wiper blades, now $10 off at Napa, you'll have the confidence to tell Mother Nature to bring it. Because with Bosch Evolution wiper blades, now $10 off when you buy a pair, you'll show the weather who's really the boss. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 2/28/17.
Brought to you by Napa of Altavista.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
It's the Subway pregame show. Two great locations in town. Of course, Main Street and then inside the Walmart on Clarion Road. Oscar, I've been sticking by my strategy to mix it up. I went with the tuna fish today. That's a fabulous option. Elizabeth Hoehne has been getting that tuna from Subway for years. She's a satisfied customer, so I said, why not me? And count me in that category as well.
Well, I didn't stop today, as I usually do, because I had to run a couple errands yesterday afternoon after work, and I was at the Walmart and slid into the convenient Walmart location and got a cold-cut combo, carried it home, and watched the Carolina game. So,
yeah. That's pretty nice right there. Carolina got the win. It was Roy's 800th victory. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Exciting stuff there, and hopefully some exciting stuff tonight from two high school teams. We're talking about the Dan River Wildcats from down in Ringgold in Pittsylvania County, near Danville, near the North Carolina border, and the home team, Altavista Colonels. Any other final thoughts before we really dive into this one, OB? I mean, it's a talented Dan River squad. A lot of names you're going to remember if you're a basketball fan. Devin Stone, Jaquan Durant, Reggie Venable Jr., the amazing Zamar Anderson, and Bennett McCann, who we saw shoot it well from outside last year. Some size is gone from Dan River's squad, but there's still a lot of talent out there.
Well, and a lot of rangy kids and a lot of speed. And let's face it, the Colonels have had trouble with speed this year.
Yeah.
And you've got to believe that Kenny Murphy has seen game tapes and scouted in person with some different personnel, and you got to believe that you'll see a lot of pressure out of Dan River tonight.
I think so. I think it could be high pressure. We've seen Dan River alternate, between using a man defense, using a zone defense, sometime with full court pressure, sometime with just half court pressure. It'll be interesting to see what the options are there for Coach Kenny Murphy.
And the boards will play a big factor tonight as well. Usually, Dan, Altavista can out-athlete some teams on the boards. You're not going to out-athlete. You've got to get back to fundamentals. You've got to box out and hold those boxes to be able to rebound and win that rebounding war against Dan River.
Dan River is so strong, too. I mean, a lot of times, even when you have position, they just bully you around and push you where they want you to go. So that makes the rebounding battle that much tougher. But Altavista's got some size and strength, too. We don't mean to slight the Colonels whatsoever. The Colonels are led in scoring by Lawrence Galliard, 12 points a game. It was Daquan Poindexter, OB, but Quan actually held scoreless in the Gretna game, so that brought his scoring average down to 11.8. Those are probably the two dynamic scoring threats for Altavista, but you can't forget about Josh McClure. He led the Colonels in scoring against Gretna. He's got a season high of 27 in that Tunstall game. Let me tell you about the folks that bring you this broadcast before we get to the national anthem and then the starting lineups. Feller Chevrolet now offering a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. First National Bank helping you bring home more bacon. English's, your complete home center, now offering a complete line of Carhartt clothing for men. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. PCM Industrial Services, now with mobile welding and repair service. The Altavista Office of Economic Development, we invite you to come find one of a kind. Highview Motors GMC, from small to tall, Highview has it all. Autumn Care of Altavista, specializing in 24-hour skilled nursing care, physical, speech, and occupational therapy. D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. Call Donnie at 841-1580. That's 841-1580. The Moose Family Center in Altavista on Lynch Mill Road. Stop by to learn more about the Moose. And Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family serving families since 1905. He's Oscar Briggs. I'm Kyle Hoehne. So glad you're joining us for some Tuesday night basketball. National anthem, get ready to get started here from Altavista High School. So we'll step aside. We'll bring it back with the starting lineups and the tip-offs between the Dan River Wildcats and the Altavista Colonels. Hope you enjoy your ringside seat that's coming up on 105.5 KD Country.
English is
so much more.
English is
More than a hardware store.
English is.
My friends may call me the perfectionist, but at English's Building Supply, my neighborhood Davis paint dealer, they greet me by name. You see, I like to get things done exactly right, especially when it comes to my many painting projects. So I'm at English's Building Supply a lot, whether it's mixing the perfect Davis paint for my project or offering great incentives. They do business just the way I like it, perfectly. English's on North Main Street, Altavista.
Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905. Personal, memorable memorial moments, celebrating life and more. Pre-arrangements with confidence, trust and care from our family to yours. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
A short drive will save you money.
I'm Greg Walker with an exciting new offer from Feller Chevrolet. Purchase any new or used vehicle of Feller's and receive a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty and a 3-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Again, a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 3-day money-back guarantee. At Feller Chevrolet, we stand behind what we sell, and we save you money. Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
A short drive will save you money. Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
54 years of outstanding sports coverage on 105.5 KD Country. Bumped into some old broadcasters, some former broadcasters. I shouldn't say old, but it's always nice to see folks like Ron Campbell and Chester Brockwell hanging around. Of course, can't forget about our good friend Mark Slusher. The lights are about to go out here at Altavista High School. It's all part of the pregame introductions for the Altavista Colonels, who again come into the ball game at 7-2. Oscar, the two losses, one in game one against Brookville And then Wednesday of last week against Appomattox, 57-45. We've got plenty of shout-outs and people that are listening. I know there's a lot of Dan River fans that didn't or couldn't make the drive, so we got quite a few listening. And it's always fun when we have more folks joining the party. Always fun when the lights go out. We're always astonished by how loud it gets in here. It's like we can never hear each other.
It does get loud, and again, we talk about it every time about the light show and how much fun it is. Rivaled by nobody in high school ranks, something you'll see at an NBA game. It's pretty neat.
It is pretty neat.
Dan River Kyle start tonight. They're going to go with number 5, Devin Stone, number 10, Daquan Durant, number 24, Bryson McLaughlin, number 30, Bennett McCann, and number 33, Zamar Anderson.
McLaughlin might be the new guy in there, the guy whose name might not be most familiar to us, but all the other ones we have heard from years past, and they're all very capable ball players. The lineup for Altavista a little bit adjusted tonight, Oscar. Coach Harris told me that the starting lineup was going to be different, so don't be completely shocked. It's going to be number 5, Chancellor Mormon. Number 2, Lance Bain. Number 30, Josh McClure. Number 10, Traquan Farmer. And the 5th and final starter for the Altavista Colonels, I believe, is going to be Lawrence Galliard, number 15. Pardon me. Not my best starting lineup roll call ever there, but we got it in. Let me break it down for you again. Number 2, Lance Bain. Number 5, Chancellor Mormon. Number 10, Traquan Farmer. Number 15, Lawrence Galliard. And number 30, Josh McClure. I feel sure that we'll see usual starters Mateo Malback and Daquan Poindexter at some point in the ball game, Oscar. Probably Jacob Adams in there somewhere as well. Just a question of when and where.
Yeah, and, sometimes when you get a little stagnant, shaking up the starting lineup is a good thing.
No doubt about it.
And it's not about who starts. It's about who gets the minutes and who's on the floor at the end of the game. And I'm sure that as we get deeper into the game, you'll see Daquan and Mateo in the game.
Right. Those starting lineups, I think, particularly in basketball, get made out to be more than they are sometimes because, like you said, it's really more about the minutes. I mean, the 6th and 7th and 8th guys could theoretically get more minutes than the starters. You just never know.
Well, and the only negative thing about that is at the high school level, there is a little bit of a stigma. Hey, I'm not starting.
Yeah.
But these kids have been around this program long enough. They understand that they'll get their minutes.
I think that's right. Dan River's going to wear the road royal blue jerseys with some white striping. Altavista in the home white unis, got the orange Altavista written over the number. The number is in black, outlined in orange. A little bit of trim down the side. At jump circle, it's going to be number 24, Bryson McLaughlin. And number 15, the junior for the Altavista Colonels, Lawrence Galliard. Jim, not as quite as full as we're used to, at least over here on the Altavista side.
I'm actually a little bit surprised.
I'm a little surprised myself. Of course, the students are coming off of a 4-day weekend that was part of a 1-day school week last year. And now Coach Harris and Athletic Director Dean Hubbard studying one bank of lights that was a little bit stubborn in coming back on. When they turn off the lights, when they turn them back on, they have to cycle through, and it takes about 60 or 90 seconds. Dan River wins the tip. Up ahead quickly is Devin Stone. He'll fire from just outside the paint on the right side. Shot's no good. Got wedged between the backboard and the rim, but they indicate that he was fouled. He's going to go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. We're just a mere 4 seconds into the ball game. That foul was on number 5, Chancellor Mormon.
Chancellor did a good job getting in position, but he brought his hand down. He had his hand straight up. He brought that right hand down. That's going to draw the call every time.
Chancellor and the broadcaster to my left, Oscar Briggs, were lobbying that Stone was on the floor when he was fouled. He converts both free throws. It's an early 2-0 Dan River lead. Here comes full court pressure from the Wildcats. Now they'll back off and just jog into the front court. McClure does the same with a right-hand dribble, just gently walking it across the timeline. Bain stuck in the left corner, now passes along the baseline to Galliard. He moves to the middle. Top of the key, it goes to McClure. Now he'll pitch back to half court and find Chancellor Mormon. 7:35 left in the first quarter. It's a 2-0 early Dan River lead. I'm Kyle. He's Oscar. It's the Wildcats and the Colonels. Altavista attacking the basket to our left and also the far side of the gym. We are courtside here tonight.
The issue with the group on the floor right now is where's the scoring going to come from?
There's a steal. A takeaway first by Zamar Anderson and McCann. Bennett McCann. Bounce pass up ahead to Stone. That's rejected out of bounds by Josh McClure. Good recovery by the big man for Altavista to hustle back.
Anytime you can get a player in between you and a shot blocker like Josh, that helps him out tremendously because he doesn't have to worry about the contact.
Stone will inbound on the far sideline, gets it in. Here comes McCann. Top of the key three-pointer. Dead on the mark, went in and out, no good. Rebounded by the Altavista Colonels. Number 30, Josh McClure, will bring it up the far sideline. Angles to center, jump pass back to half court to find Chancellor Mormon. We're 1 minute into the ball game. It's a 2-0 Dan River lead. Hang on. McClure had thoughts about breaking the lead, but the three-pointer was too strong. 2-on-1 fast break for the Wildcats. Wild shot put up by number 24, Bryson McLaughlin, and it goes in. 4-0 Wildcat lead.
Dan River in a man-to-man.
McClure, bullet pass to Bain. Bain was driving in from the left wing, lost the handle, turnover. Wildcats in transition again. They slow it down. Kick out pass to Stone. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Anderson and Mormon battle for the rebound, and Chancellor Mormon wins that duel. He'll jog the basketball into the front court himself.
Boy, Dan River is really pushing the ball.
They are. They want to get some shots up. Galliard was looking for the old high-low lob pass down low to McClure, and he just overshot him a little bit. Trayvon Jones into the ball game early for the Altavista Colonels, along with Daquan Poindexter. It's Poindexter, Jones, Galliard, McClure, and Mormon. Dan River still with their starters in there. Devin Stone, Bennett McCann, Bryson McLaughlin, Zamar Anderson, and Durant.
Seeing some unique combinations from the Colonels that we haven't seen this year.
Good point. Durant chased it down in the left corner. Now it's back between the circles to McCann. It's a zone defense, I think, from Altavista.
It is a zone.
Oh, nice tip-in attempt there by Stone, but he couldn't get it to fall. I asked Coach Harris about the zone in the pregame show. He said it was in the toolbox, just don't know if and when we'll use it. Basketball saved in. McClure hands off to Galliard. Galliard in traffic. Nice move to get the lay-in to fall. First points for Altavista come from the hands of Lawrence Galliard. 4-2, the Dan River advantage. Yeah, it looks just like a 2-3 zone. Altavista used it with great effectiveness last year against Dan River. Part of the reason why they won that ball game. Pressure inside forces McLaughlin to alter his shot. It's out of bounds. It's going to go to the Colonels.
The only negative about running in the zone is sometimes your box-out responsibilities can get a little bit mixed. Colonels have done a good job so far on both trips, the last two trips certainly, by Dan River.
Meanwhile, it looks like the Wildcats are in a man-to-man. It's a pressuring man-to-man. They're not sagging off, giving the Colonels much room. Mormon lost the basketball in midcourt, picked up by Durant. He'll score with the right-hand layup from the left side. Coach Harris going to go to the bench again very soon. He's got Christian Gilbert at the scorer's table. It's a 6-2 Dan River lead. Galliard, no dribble, passes off to the left wing to Poindexter. Poindexter, bounce pass in the left corner to Trayvon Jones. He looks comfortable in there. Bullet pass down low to McClure. McClure couldn't finish. He was hammered on the shoulders and the elbows by Bennett McCann. That's going to be Dan River's first foul. It's a 6-2 Dan River lead. 4:45 left to play in the English's, your complete home center, first quarter. McClure comes into the ball game shooting 42% from the free throw line. Oscar, the Colonels were a little bit better from the charity stripe against Gretna, but not a whole lot better. It was 9 for 23 against Gretna. Remember, back to Wednesday night against Appomattox, it was 9 for 30. So, like I said, a little bit better, still not great. McClure does sink the second, makes it a 6-3 Wildcat advantage.
Neither one of those percentages in a close ball game are you going to come out ahead, though.
Not something you feel good about, that's for sure. Durant tried to dribble and attack along the baseline, but got cut off. Now it's back in his hands. He will get to the hoop this time. Lay-in won't fall. It was contested. Rebound gathered finally by Lawrence Galliard. Colonels did box out well there after the penetration from Durant.
And they have been able to penetrate against this Altavista zone, but Altavista's done a good job getting some weak side help.
Galliard going to try and attack with the dribble. He first went right, then cut back and met a double team. Anderson stepped up along with McLaughlin. I believe the jump ball was the call. Possession arrow favors Altavista.
That's correct.
They'll inbound underneath their own scoring basket. Baseline right. Colonel's looking to throw it in. They send it long to Lawrence Galliard. He catches, immediate pass, left wing. McClure down low, found Trayvon Jones. Jones couldn't get the first to fall, but he gets the second. How about Trayvon Jones? Maybe a coming out party for him. He's got 2 points after a nice cut to the basket.
I like the way he stuck with it. He had his little first floater, and that didn't go, but he stayed with it, followed his shot, and was able to come up and, with a twisting shot, put it in.
He's a guy that has not played a lot of minutes, but like I said, he looks comfortable. McLaughlin got in the short corner, tossed to McCann, and then that shot was tossed away by Galliard. That one won't go for McLaughlin. Long rebound collected by the Wildcats. It's a third chance now for Dan River on this possession. We're down to 3.5 minutes to play in the quarter. Anderson, pull-up jumper from 15 feet dead on, doesn't go. Basketball's rebounded off the backboard by Daquan Poindexter. Colonel's going the other way. They're down 1. Chance to take the lead here. McClure toes the three-point line left wing. Now he'll dribble back to center. One-hand pass over to Poindexter. Colonel spread the floor. Now it looks like McClure may be going down low to post up. They find him down there. Galliard did. McClure lost the basketball, though, out of bounds.
Yeah, I really like the spacing on that play. They had him spread, were able to get the ball to Josh. Josh couldn't quite handle the pass.
Spacing was something that you and I weren't thrilled with a week ago against Appomattox, but it looks like maybe the Colonels more aware of that. Spreading the floor, keeping the bodies separated, stretching the defense out. Dan River basketball, just under 3 to play in the first quarter. McCann steps into a three-pointer. It was short, hit the front of the rim. McLaughlin, always around the basketball, picks it up and scores, and he's fouled. How about Bryson McLaughlin, a 6'4 junior, seemed to be in the right place after the McCann three-pointer just barely nicked the front of the iron.
Now, is he a homegrown Dan River kid, or is he a transfer in? Or I don't remember the name.
Have to get some of our scouts in our research department on that. Bob Alvis, are you listening? Free throw no good, but it's picked up by Jaquan Durant. His shot was packed. McClure and Galliard really doing a nice job with the shot blocking, OB.
That's the second one for Josh.
Poindexter taps the brakes at the three-point line, gives it over to Josh McClure. Lance Bain lost it, but it was out of bounds off of Jaquan Durant after a bit of a scramble there at the three-point line.
And the Colonels haven't quite gotten into a rhythm offensively yet. They're kind of in a scramble mode. A lot of one-on-one, two-on-two. Really haven't gotten into their motion.
Poindexter, waist-high dribble, moving right to left around the defense. Bodied up and just bumped in the thigh there by Jaquan Durant. That stops play with 2:25 left in the first. 2 team fouls apiece. It's Durant's first. He is Oscar Briggs. I'm Kyle Hoehne. Glad you're joining us. It's Dan River and Altavista. Colonel basketball in the white jerseys. Poindexter for 3, in and out, no good. Galliard had the rebound for a moment, but it was taken away by the strong and feisty Zamar Anderson.
Yeah, and that's a situation where Lawrence has got to learn coming over the back like that. Sometimes you got to turn loose the ball. If he'd have turned loose, it would have been Dan River possession, but he wouldn't have picked up the foul.
2:15 left in the first quarter. It's brought to you by English's, your complete home center. On the court for the Colonels, Poindexter, Mormon, Bain, Galliard, and McClure. Another shot block by Poindexter. Galliard was in the area and kind of helped alter it, and McClure really got the block. Poindexter dribbled it off his foot. Fast break attempt coming up for Dan River. Nice bounce pass by Devin Stone to find Bryson McLaughlin. McLaughlin fouled, hit the deck fairly hard, but popped up and no problem. Back to the free throw line with 1:55 left in the first.
That's going to be the second on Galliard.
Came off of the turnover. Colonels were really caught out of position defensively.
And you can't, the way Dan River's pushing the ball, you got to get back on transition defense.
Yeah, you've got to sprint back. And even then, sometimes that's not enough. He sinks the first free throw, 9-5 the advantage. First quarter brought to you by English's, your complete home center, and your headquarters for Carhartt gear for men and women. The winter time is here. You need to be prepared for it. Carhartt gear is tough and durable, helping you live the lifestyle that you want. It's available at English's. 10-5 the Dan River lead. Both free throws converted. McClure holds it over his head, a full 30 feet away from the basket. Now a short pass over to Poindexter. Poindexter flips in the corner to Traquan Farmer. Farmer Inside to McClure. McClure spins right, looked to go back left, had to get rid of the basketball. Now the Colonels have lost the basketball. Zamar Anderson was coming out of there in a hurry with it. But he was fouled by Daquan Poindexter as he was looking to make a breakout move.
Well, Dan Rivers jumping passing lanes. They're getting their hands out. They're getting their hands and forcing turnovers. Unforced turnovers, really.
My dear friend, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
My dear friend from Dan River, Jacob Waller, reports that Bryson McLaughlin is a Dan River guy. Had to wait for his time to shine, and he really grew a bunch in the offseason. He stands 6'4" now. Here's a foul on the missed shot. The rebound was collected by Reggie Venable Jr.
That's going to be the second on Josh McClure. So with 1:18 here in the first quarter, you got McClure and Galliard both with 2 fouls. I got to believe you're going to see Jake Adams shortly.
Shot up from short range. No good from the aforementioned McLaughlin. Rebounded away nicely by Josh McClure. Colonels in a hurry. Lance Bain with a three-pointer on the way, and it's good. Colonels needed that. Referees may have called it a long two. Troy Harris wondering what's the deal.
That was clearly a 3 from our perspective. We've got a great perspective of it.
It's either 10-8 or 10-7. Here comes a three-pointer from Venable in and out. Just missed by a whisker. Second chance try from Zamar Anderson didn't work. There was about 9 guys packed in the lane there going after the rebound. Traquan Farmer, the big man from Altavista, came away with it. In trouble, timeout by head coach Troy Harris. We'll take a 30-second timeout, too. Dan River leading 10-7. 39 seconds left in the first quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Littles Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Littles Heating and Cooling.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
During the timeout, the referees got together and did confirm that that was a three-point basket from Lance Bain. That makes it 10-8. Nice job by the officials getting together and talking it over.
Yeah, that was a great job of officiating. You know, without the benefit of replay, they got together and talked about it and made the right call.
It's Altavista basketball, too, after the timeout. A chance to tie or perhaps take the lead on what could be the final possession of the first quarter. Mormon behind the back dribble. He's guarded tightly by Jaquan Durant. Now gives it up. It's Josh McClure. Waist-high dribble, going to try and get around the defender and cannot.
That's his third.
Yep, Zamar Anderson really did a nice job keeping Josh in front. Then when Josh tried to cross over dribble, it hit Anderson's knee. It's McClure's second, I think I heard PA man Robert Duff say it is. But it's the 17th foul on the Colonels. So Dan Rivers in the bonus situation in the first quarter. That's not something you see a whole lot against Altavista's defense.
It's certainly not something you want either, and it just speaks to the athleticism. A lot of those fouls have been committed on the Dan River side of the court, or the Altavista side of the court, as they turn the ball over.
Yeah, right after turnovers, exactly. Nice box out and rebound by Traquan Farmer. Took it out of the sky. We've got 20 seconds left in the first period. Altavista basketball, they trail by 2. It's Daquan Poindexter running the point guard spot now. Just dancing around midcourt with a waist-high dribble. So trying to attack right, and he was shoved to the deck. Anderson and that's Jalen Fitzgerald in the ball game now for Dan River. That's his first personal.
Coach Kenny Murphy was lobbying for a 5-second call.
Daniel Dickerson in the game now for Dan River. You've heard that name before.
Yes,
8.9 seconds left for Altavista. Farmer catches the inbounds. It goes right back to Poindexter. Daquan to the rack, skying for 2. We're tied 10-10. Clock down to 1. The half-court heave on the way is no good. Nice bucket there by Poindexter to tie it up in the waning seconds of the first quarter. We're all knotted at 10 between Dan River and Altavista. Second quarter on the way when we return on 105.5 KD Country.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Dan River and Altavista were all tied at 10. It's a 5-0 run for the Altavista Colonels. The three-pointer from Bain. And then the nice soaring lay-in from Daquan Poindexter there in the final 5 seconds of that first quarter. Oscar, what'd you like? What'd you see?
Well, the thing that I didn't like, I liked the Colonel's grittiness. The thing that I liked that I did not like that I saw was they really never got into an offensive rhythm. A lot of one-on-one, a lot of dribbling, not really taking care of the ball as well as they should have.
The spacing looked much better, but sometimes with more spacing, that creates longer passes and more opportunities for Dan River to get into the passing lanes. Wildcats certainly did that a few times in the first period. Dan River hasn't scored in a little while. It's a 2-3 zone for Altavista. That's a break from their customary man-to-man. Mormon got his finger on a McCann pass, but Zamar Anderson collected it. It actually bounced off the backboard.
Altavista staying in his 2-3 zone.
Anderson, pull-up jumper from the short corner along the baseline. The shot won't go. It's an offensive rebound try here for the Wildcats. Now it's a scrum for it. Christian Gilbert and Zamar Anderson got tied up. Possession arrow favoring the Altavista Colonels.
Like Christian Gilbert's fight, grittiness underneath the boards. Outsized, but he's strong. Strong with the ball, too.
He is. He's really a nice player for just a sophomore. Hasn't played a lot of minutes lately, but we'll see more of it. There's a foul at midcourt. It was a turnover again from Altavista. Jalen Fitzgerald really just took it away from Daquan Poindexter. Then Fitzgerald bodied him up, or pardon me, Poindexter bodied up Fitzgerald.
And compounded the problem. Now he's got to.
Yep.
Still yet to see Mateo Malbeck or Jake Adams in the game.
Something to keep an eye on. Two guys that normally log quite a few minutes for Altavista. The Colonels have gone with a little different lineup. We saw some good play from Trayvon Jones. We're seeing good minutes from Traquan Farmer, Christian Gilbert as well, and Lance Bain. 10-10, we're all tied. The free throw is no good from Fitzgerald. Bain got in trouble. There's a nice cutting pass to Farmer, but he couldn't control it. The pass was a little bit off the mark. McCann has to sky up and grab a high pass from a teammate. Devin Stone really just completely lost the handle. Poindexter racing up the far sideline, attacking the rim. He's waylaid on his trip to the bucket, and he'll go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. We've just played 1 minute in this English's, your complete home center, second quarter.
I had to take a deep breath because the Dan River player was in the process of trying to get set up, and if it would, that would have been Daquan's third.
Yeah, if the Dan River defender, which was Zamar Anderson, was just maybe a split second quicker to that spot, it could have been a charge.
Zamar a step quicker.
Step quicker. Zorro.
I don't know if he's got a step quicker in him. He's a blur.
He is already pretty fast. You're right. He's built like a brick. Free throw was no good from Daquan Poindexter. He'll get a second chance try here. Colonels have committed 8 fouls. Dan River 4. Poindexter cans the second. He's shooting 77% on the year. 11-10, Altavista with their first lead of the ball game. Mateo Malbeck was ushered off the court. He tried to get in there. I don't know if he came in too late. Christian Gilbert's going to have to go back in. And you can tell Malbeck visibly upset. It's maybe a request to tuck in the jersey, but normally they just ask you to tuck it in. They don't send you back off. That's hard to believe.
Yeah,
if that it was indeed the case anyway.
That appeared to be what it was.
He's headed back to the scorer's table.
He's putting he's making sure his pants got his shirt tail
belt to borrow or something. Here comes Fitzgerald. Oh, nice charge taken by Daquan Poindexter. Fitzgerald with a good jump stop, but Poindexter got the feet set. It's an offensive foul.
That's a gutty play by Daquan.
Yeah. Just what we talked about. Poindexter already playing with 2 fouls.
And again, Dan River picking up full court.
Malbeck is in the ball game. He joins Mormon, Poindexter, Trayvon Jones, and Lance Bain. Jones at midcourt, one dribble, looking for help now. Goes back to Mormon. Nice little lead pass. Mormon through traffic. Bain sets up the 3.
Wow.
No good. It would look really good for a while. Poindexter, offensive board. Did they whistle him for a foul? Jump ball, pardon me. It's a jump ball, mutual possession tie-up. This time the possession arrow goes to Dan River, and we get our first look at number 1, Jacob Adams, into the ball game now.
Jacob Adams making sure he's got his shirt tail tucked in.
You may want to keep an eye on it tonight, boys. Cinch up that drawstring a little bit. 6:25 left to play in the first. Still the 2-3 zone from Altavista. Dan River in the royal blue attacking the basket to our right. Here's a catch and shoot three on the way from Devin Stone. No good. Long rebound collected at the free throw line. Extended by Chancellor Mormon. Colonels bring it up the left sideline. Poindexter. Wow. Scoring. He did it again. Really with a full head of speed. Daquan Poindexter gives the Colonels a 3-point advantage.
Kenny Murphy's seen enough.
We'll take a timeout with Dan River. Altavista on top, 13-10. 6 minutes even to play in the half on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Miley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. Asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
We return to Altavista High School. The Colonels in the middle of an 8-0 run, and clearly that doesn't sit well with head coach Kenny Murphy. What do you think the message was in the timeout, Mr. Briggs?
Well, I think he told them that they got to be a little bit more patient against the zone. Take the when you get the turnover, you want to have the tempo, you want to have the speed, you want to attack the basket. But if it's not there, back it back out, move the ball until you can get somebody out of position, and then take the shot.
I think the zone and the slow tempo is frustrating the Wildcats a bit.
Yeah, I think I think it's a little bit of a curveball. We've seen them mix man and zone, but we haven't seen Altavista go full zone in a long time.
Yeah, not this much zone. Devin Stone with a nice offensive rebound and an athletic move to get it to go. He really had no angle. He somehow extended the arm and got it off the window pane for two. There's another turnover by the Colonels and another foul immediately after the turnover. This one's on Mateo Malbeck. No, pardon me, it's on Jacob Adams.
Yeah, and that's the 9th team foul with 5:32 remaining here in the second quarter. Colonels leading 13-12. After this, Dan River will be shooting 2 each time.
That's a big advantage for the Wildcats. You know, Dan River's been plagued with free throw troubles over the years, but still don't like giving them all these opportunities. Anderson with no problem connecting on that. We're tied 13-13. We were tied 10-10. And, of course, we were tied 0-0 as well. Not tied anymore. There's a lead change, our third of the evening. Dan River on top, 14-13. 5.5 to play still in the half. Adams lost the ball for a moment, was able to grab it before it went out of bounds. Crossover dribble. Adams moving well, but he threw away the pass. It's a steal by the Wildcats. Here comes Stone in from the right side. Threw up the layup, sort of skied into the air and leaned into the shot. He was expecting some contact from Adams. He didn't get much of it, but the officials blow the whistle, and they get Jacob Adams with a personal foul.
Yeah, he threw it. He adjusted his step there at the last minute, kind of threw himself into Jake. It's a foul.
Another Dan River guy. Our dear friend Devin Doss is tuned in now. Devin, you didn't have the great hair like your brother Greg did, but you're an okay guy other than that. Free throw no good from Stone. Second one missed as well. Devin Doss actually used to play basketball with some of these guys from Dan River. 14-13. Dan River's lead is going to stay at 1 after the 2 missed free throws. Malbeck. Free ball good from the left wing.
From the left wing, nothing. That was from the AHS logo.
He was closer to the sideline than he was the left wing. NBA Ranger gives Altavista 2-point lead. Check that. We're tied again with a quick bucket from Bryson McLaughlin.
And I'm going to tell you, Bryson McLaughlin said his time and that was a backcourt violation that the Colonels just got away with. But McLaughlin is a good-looking player. Once again, they jumped the lane.
Lost the basketball on the layup. Poindexter did. Jacob Adams getting ready to pick up his third foul. He got tangled up with big Daniel Dickerson as Dickerson was coming down the right side of the lane for a layup.
Jake Adams came in the ballgame with 6:08 remaining in the second quarter, and he has promptly picked up 3. He'll be going back to the bench. Colonels need Jake in the ballgame.
I would agree. He's an athletic guy. He's got the size to play with some of these bigger guys from Dan River. Dickerson, the right-handed shooting junior, sinks the first free throw. It's a 17-16 Dan River lead. The tie is broken. with 4:38 left to play in the second period. It's brought to you by English's, your complete home center, and your headquarters for Davis Paint. Wintertime, the perfect time for painting projects. Check out English's on North Main Street in Altavista. Dickerson nails both. Good job by the big man to convert there. Mormon gets it inbounds to Poindexter and then right back.
Kyle Dan River, 8 out of 10 from the free throw line.
Man-to-man, that's pretty good right there. Man-to-man defense for Dan River. Mormon driving, tosses off the window and scores. He's fouled in the process. We're tied again at 18, Oscar.
The officials were, excuse me.
Officials slow played it a little bit. Nobody wanted to make a signal. I mean, clearly the basket was good, and they blew the whistle, so I don't know what was taking so long.
Coach Kenny Murphy explaining to the ref that was a backcourt violation on the last trip now.
Mormon cannot sink the free throws. We'll stay tied for a moment. Basketball tapped out of bounds off Dan River. Colonels will inbound underneath their own scoring basket. 4:25 left to play in the second period. Altavista in the home white jerseys, attacking the basket to our left on the far side of the gym.
And a lot of times you'll see some complaints about disparity in the foul. Altavista's committed.
McClure got it on the inbound pass.
Finished that thought.
Had it poked away. Wildcats in transition. They get to the left side of the bucket in a hurry. It's Durant finishing the layup. Back to a Dan River, 20-18 lead. McClure lost it again, trying to drive. It's loose. Now it's Devin Stone in the front court. Bounces up ahead to McLaughlin. He can't finish. Poindexter is having to play defense on 3 guys, and he did so successfully. Now it's Stone on the right side. That's blocked by Bain, and they whistle Bain for a foul. That brings the Altavista crowd to their feet. Bain might have been clean upstairs, but I think he may have bodied him a little bit with the hips.
Well, and again, anytime you come down and that arm swings, you're going to get the call.
You hear some audible boos from the Altavista crowd. Devin Stone cans the first free throw. It's the second foul on Lance Bain. I believe it's the Colonels' 11th team foul, but they stopped putting them on the scoreboard after 10.
Which they shouldn't, in my opinion. Ring them up.
Ring them up. Bain makes, Stone makes both. It's a 22-18 Dan River lead. And Bain got bopped on the chin and the chest there as he was trying to pass the basketball away.
That'll put him at the line for 1-and-1. And a lot of times I thought I was going to tell you, a lot of times you'll see this period in fouls, and, it doesn't look right. 11 fouls to 7 or 6. And really the Colonels have, been their own worst enemy. They created those fouls.
They have. A lot of them have come. In fact, I'd say most of them have come after they've turned the ball over and they're scrambling to get the basketball back. Some of them maybe even frustration fouls, too.
I think you're right, or try to stop the break.
Right. Bain sinks the first. He's a great free throw shooter. 81% on the year. He makes both there, so that percentage is going to go up a tad. 22-20. Altavista trailing by 2. Here come the Wildcats attacking the bucket to our right. Left wing. Now, so here comes a soft lob pass to the free throw line to McLaughlin. He goes back to Stone. Stone, nice athletic layup to come in from the left baseline. Got under the backboard again and scored. Extends the Dan River lead 24-10. Remember, the Colonels led 13-10 at one point. It's a 24-20 Dan River lead now. Wildcats in transition again. 3-on-2 break. Dickerson can't get it to go with the left hand, but Stone can get the tap in to go. 26-20. Coach Troy Harris needs a timeout. We'll take the timeout with him. Dan River on top 6. 3:14 left to play in the half on 105.5 KD Country.
Compassionate Care Choices, Autumn Care, 24-hour skilled nursing, inpatient, outpatient, physical, occupational, and speech therapies. Autumn Care invites you to tour their facility in 2016, receiving the bronze quality by the American Healthcare Association. 5-star rating by Centers for Medicare, Medicaid Services. Autumn Care, a member of Sabre Healthcare Group, serving Altavista and surrounding areas since 1989.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
The Altavista Colonels trailing 26-20. Coach Troy Harris burns a timeout here. It's the second timeout that Altavista has used in the ball game. We've got 3:14 left to play in the English's, your complete home center. Second quarter. OB, it's been back and forth already. 4 lead changes, 4 ties. We were tied 10-10 at the end of the first quarter.
But since then, it's been all Dan River.
Colonel's opened up with the first 3 points of the second quarter, but certainly Wildcats in control lately. On the court for the Colonels, Poindexter, McClure, Galliard, Mormon, and Malbach. Teo Malbach in the right corner, trapped for a moment, and then he lost it. Another turnover. Stone bounces up ahead to McLaughlin, jump stop on the right side of the iron, gets it to go for 2.
And the Colonels can't contest. They got too much foul trouble to really aggressively try to block these shots.
Got to do a better job hanging on to the ball, or it's going to be a long night. 28-20. There's a handoff from Malbach to Galliard. Now he hands to McClure. Shortening those passing lanes might help a little bit. Can't get much shorter than one of those handoffs. 28-20. Colonels trail by 8. We've got 2.5 minutes left to play in the half.
Boy, and you don't want Lawrence Galliard out at midcourt handling the ball either.
Now, Zamar Anderson was all over him like a pit bull on a ham hock. Lawrence was in trouble. Thankfully got rid of the ball. Poindexter driving, got bumped, fired it up to the rim, but they say Daquan Poindexter took too many steps. That's a traveling violation. At least the Colonels didn't commit a foul after that turnover. 28-20. Dan River on top in the road royal blue jerseys. They come in at 5-2. They have not played a ball game since December 19th. It's still a 2-3 zone for the Altavista Colonels. Wildcats have had some trouble identifying and attacking the defense, but they've gotten hot at certain points as well. Dickerson had to sky up and collect an errant pass before it went into the Colonels' bench. It's still Dan River basketball. They're content to pass around the perimeter of this defense. Dickerson will drive now, cut off along the baseline. Bounces up top to Durant. Durant, floater, good from 7 feet. That's tough to stop, and now it's a 10-point advantage for Dan River, 30-20.
And really defensively, Dan Rivers just dominated this first half. They have jumped in passing lanes. Even when the Colonels, their on-ball defense has been outstanding.
Mormon, he'll get into the paint. Shot was altered, hit the rim, wouldn't fall. Here comes the Wildcats again. 3-on-2 fast break. Stone soars. He even took some contact there. Played through it with no whistle. 32-20. Colonels down 12 all of a sudden. Came off a fast break again. Not exactly a turnover, but a missed shot and then a quick breakout. Here's Malbach leaning and kissing it in off the window for 2.
That was a tough shot. Even then, defensively, Dan River did a nice job. 54 seconds remaining. Colonels trailing by 10.
Much needed points for the Colonels. That could loom large later on. 32-22. Dan River going to slow it down. Now it looks like it's man-to-man defense for Altavista. Poindexter out on front on top of Devin Stone. Now it's to midcourt and Jaquan Durant. Passes off to Dickerson. Dickerson spins right, going to attack the basket from the right side. Basketball got to the rim, it wouldn't go in. Got his own rebound, that won't go. Third try will. Daniel Dickerson just sticking with it, and he scores.
Well, again, McClure and Galliard, neither one in opportunity to.
Poindexter in a big hurry, and he got rolled up with Daniel Dickerson. They're both on the ground grimacing in pain.
They're going to call the foul.
I think they got Daniel Dickerson with the block. Yep, it's Altavista basketball. The foul is on number 34, Daniel Dickerson. Poindexter went down pretty hard. He's on his feet now, and he'll go to the free throw line. River fans can't believe it.
He got kind of rolled up on, like you said, just like a football player.
15.1 seconds left in the half. It's a 34-22 Dan River lead. Poindexter will shoot free throws here for the Colonels. It's the 8th team foul on Dan River. Quan Poindexter sinks the first, no problem. Good form, good stroke there. He's a 77% free throw shooter coming into the ball game. Second one on the way. Second quarter is brought to you by English's Your Complete Home Center. It's good as well. Colonels trim it back to a 10-point deficit. Hard to believe we were tied about 3 minutes ago.
Yep.
Down to 12 seconds. Wildcats probably going to hold for the last shot. Never know, though. Durant driving. Now it's off to Stone. Back to Durant. He gets inside the paint. Bounces off to Anderson. Blocked by Galliard. Time winding down. There's the horn. Wildcats couldn't get it off in time, but it was a good half for Dan River. They lead 34-24. Subway halftime show on the way. You return to 105.5 KD Country.
If credit card processing is important to your business, I can help. I'm Ramonda Davis of First National Bank, and I'm your local e-commerce officer for merchant card and other electronic business products. Local means I live in Central Virginia. I'm ready to come see you and respond quickly to what you need. Local means I'm focused just on your business needs. For the latest in electronic payment technology and competitive pricing, contact me, Ramonda Davis. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Whatever your truck, car, SUV needs are, Highview Motors GMC has it all, from small to tall. New to pre-owned, offering more than just GMC sales. Highview Motors GMC provides 24-hour towing, full-service body shop, state inspection, transmissions, everything in between. Highview Motors GMC, providing top-quality service since 1961.
Motors GMC.
At Subway, Monday is no longer Monday. It's Sweet Onion Chicken Teriyaki Day. That's the $3.50 sub of the day. Subway has a different 6-cent sub of the day every day of the week. Each has no artificial flavors or colors from artificial sources. For just $3.50, it's a great sub for a great price. Wednesday, that's Turkey Breast Day. Friday, Tuna Day. The $3.50 sub of the day every day at Subway. At participating restaurants, additional charges for extras and deluxe plus tax may not be combined with other offers, coupons, or discount cards.
The Altavista Office of Economic Development invites you to come find one of a kind with Altavista's unique shops, stores, and restaurants waiting for you. Personal service from local businesses. Jumpstart your business with the Altavista Office of Economic Development, helping Altavista grow with a variety of business loans available and supporting the Altavista Colonels basketball team. Good luck on another winning season.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show is here. Two great locations to eat fresh. Main Street in Altavista and then also inside the Walmart on Clarion Road. Well, we were tied 10-10 at the end of the first quarter, OB. We're not tied anymore. It's a 34-24 advantage for the Dan River Wildcats. Colonel scored the first 3 points in that second quarter, but after that, last 7 or 6.5 minutes was really a dominating performance from Dan River.
Yeah, Colonel, like you said, Colonel scored the first 3 points and went up 13-10, and boy, obviously a 24-11 run, and really dominant fashion.
They got a lot of second chance opportunities. They didn't convert all of them, but they got a lot of them. They got a bunch of turnovers, too. They didn't score off all the turnovers, but they really did a nice job of not only getting into passing lanes from Altavista Oscar, but stopping those dribble drive attacks that the Colonels were trying. They just played really great, solid defense. You know, they keep their feet moving, keep you in front, and it becomes very difficult to score, and at times it becomes very difficult to just hang on to the ball against Dan River.
They're on-ball defense. They are hawking. They're getting their hands on the ball. They're interrupting the dribble in addition to getting into the passing lane. So great half defensively by Dan River, far and away the best defensive performance we've seen this year.
Sure was, but ball game's not over yet. Colonels trail by 10. Oscar and I will bring it back with some halftime statistics, and we'll tell you what to look forward to here in the second half. Dan River leading at the moment 34-24. It's the Subway pregame show. We're back right after this on 105.5. It's the Subway halftime show. Pardon me there, folks. The Subway halftime show. Dan River leads 34-24 on 105.5 KD Country.
This game is brought to you by the proud supporters of the KD Country Sports Club.
El Cerrito. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only El Cerrito can serve up.
The Medicine Shop, a full-service pharmacy on Main Street in Altavista, and carrying a complete line of Carolina boots.
One Stop Mart, Main Street, where the gas is cheap, beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
The Dairy Freeze, hot dogs, burgers, fries, and of course, ice cream. Do it right at the Freeze on Main Street.
Radio Shack and Crystal Bay Pools, serving your area since 1989 for swimming pool installations, chemicals, liners, and more.
Tonight's game brought to you by the KD Country Sports Club on 105.5.
841-1580. That's the number to know this winter when your heat pump is in trouble. D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling is the name to know for all your heating and air issues. Call 841-1580 to get Donnie and his team to your house or business fast. 841-1580. That's 434-841-1580. D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. The name to know this winter. The number to know, 841-1580.
PCM Industrial of Altavista offers mobile welding and repair services, fully equipped service trucks, certified craftsmen, and quick response to satisfy your needs. Contact PCM Industrial at powerconstruction.com. PCM Industrial is a fully insured Class A licensed contractor, OSHA and MSHA compliant. PCM Industrial Services of Altavista wishes Coach Harris and the Altavista Colonels basketball team good luck in another winning season.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
34-24, the Dan River Wildcats leading the Altavista Colonels. At halftime, we're broadcasting live from the gym here at Altavista. I'm Kyle, he's Oscar. It's the Subway halftime show. OB, got some scoring numbers for us in this one.
First for the Dan River Wildcats, Devin Stone with 12, Shaquan Durant with 6, Bryson McLaughlin with 10, DeMar Anderson with 2, and Daniel Dickerson with 4. 34 points for the Dan River Wildcats. For Altavista, Lance Bain with 5, Mateo Malbach with 5, Daquan Poindexter with 7, Chancellor Mormon with 2, Lawrence Galliard with 2, Trey Jones with 2, and Josh McClure with 1 point.
Rare to see Mr. McClure limited to 1 point, but we still got another half of basketball to play. It's a 34-24 Dan River advantage. It's the Subway halftime show. Plenty of great options there at Subway. As Bob says, the only wrong choice, not walking in the door. Hopefully you won't make that bad mistake. Hopefully you'll get to Subway sometime soon. All right, Oscar, second half thoughts. Man, Dan River is so good defensively. Not only that, they turn into offense really quick. They run that fast break in meticulous fashion. They're really good about filling the lanes there and getting to the basket, whether it's coming in from the sides or coming straight on to the front of the iron. They attack. They attack, and they don't like to take their foot off the throttle very much.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned they attack. They do attack. They attack off the break, but they really are aggressive in attack on the defensive end. You can't sit back and dribble against this team. You've got to attack defensively. You've got to set picks. You've got to be strong with the ball. You've got to be strong with your passes. And really, the Colonels just didn't do that in the first half. Kyle, one thing that stands out, too, Dan River 10 of 12 from the free throw line, Altavista 5 of 9.
We know that the Colonels have been struggling from the charity stripe. 5 for 9, that is actually a better percentage than they have been in the last couple ball games. Got to tip your cap to Dan River. They've shot it very well from the free throw line, and they got there a bunch, too. One more timeout here, a quick one on the Subway halftime show, and then we're back with the start of the third quarter. It's Dan River 34, Altavista 24. Third quarter up next on 105.5 KD Country.
Napa know-how. If your hatch, trunk, or hood won't stay open, your lift supports need replacing. Luckily, Napa has Turbo lift supports for $10 off a pair. So unless you think an old 2x4 is a suitable replacement, get some Turbo lift supports, now $10 off a pair. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 2/28/17.
Brought to you by Napa of Altavista.
You can buy paint from any old yahoo who knows nothing about paint in one of those big box stores. For quality paint from people who really know paint, it's Davis Paints from your complete home center, English's. Davis Paints, which has been known for quality since 1921, is not just sold anywhere. Visit the new paint room at English's, your authorized Davis Paint dealer.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Getting ready for the start of the third quarter between Altavista and Dan River. Wildcats come into the ball game at 5-2. He joined us late. It's Dan River's first game in a while. They've been off for 29 days. Last game was December 19th. Colonels beat Gretna on Friday night to improve their record to 7-2. Got their work cut out for them if they want to go to 8-2. We're back on the air.
Any thoughts we had about them being stale? That's just pipe dream.
Yeah, I mean, Dan River hasn't shot the basketball great, but other than that, hard to pick out much of what they've done wrong. And they've shot it pretty great from the free throw line. It's just been more of the fact they haven't knocked down a three-pointer, haven't finished some inside as they probably would like to.
Colonels still have a lot of foul trouble too. And there again is another giveaway.
Dan River gave it right back, though.
Nice job by Mateo Malbeck. Didn't really have an opportunity to get to the ball. Kind of shielded the Dan River player to keep him from getting to the ball.
Yeah, the lead pass for Anderson was just a little bit too long. He's guarding Josh McClure now. It's a man-to-man defense for Dan River. Colonels attacking the basket to Oscar and I's right, closest to us. Down low in the low block is Galliard. McClure will fire for three, hit the back plate. High rebound taken out of the air by the Wildcats. Jaquan Durant. Up ahead quickly in transition. Wildcats score. That's Bryson McLaughlin. Had the hot hand in the first period, and he opens up scoring here in the third quarter. Dan River extending the lead back to 12.
I think the first 4 minutes of this third quarter are extremely important for the Colonels.
I agree with you there. I think Altavista's got to get something consistent going. Got to punch back in this one. Poindexter, low post right. Fouled by Bennett McCann and also Bryson McLaughlin. I think they're going to get Benny McCann with the infraction, though. They do. His second. Poindexter goes to the free throw line with 7:01 left to play in the third period. Third period, of course, brought to you by English's, your complete home center. Complete line of Carhartt clothing for men. Got some women's gear, too. That outerwear is going to come in very handy in this cold winter. Don't let this warm day today that we had fool you. You need to get some of that Carhartt gear.
These last two possessions, first two possessions here in the third quarter for the Colonels have been good. Nice rotation. We're able to get the jump shot off from McClure.
Look at Devin Stone like a blur coming down the right side. He was in fifth gear almost instantaneously, and he scored with little to no resistance. 38-25. Wildcats on top 13. There's a missed free throw from Poindexter that led to it, and a quick outlet pass to Stone. Malbeck pulls up from the elbow. Shot won't fall. Hit the back iron. Got his own board, though. Can't get that one to go. Nice job following his shot. He'll get rewarded with 2 free throws after the foul. Second team foul on Dan River. Comes with 6:31 left to play in the third period. That's Benny McCann's third.
That was a great job following his own shot.
McCann is a very good baseball player, good pitcher. We'll say hello again to Jacob Waller, assistant baseball coach at Dan River, or perhaps more. And Devin Doss, former Wildcat baseball and basketball star, listening as well. Say hello to our friends in Altavista. Danny Barber, Faye Dalton. I think Linda Miller might be listening. minutes left to play in the English's, your complete home center. Third quarter. Malbeck had to save it inbounds, but unfortunately it was intercepted when he did. Basketball ends up in the lobby, and it hit a fan that wasn't looking in the back of the head. Hope it didn't knock their drink out of their hand. I think probably more comical than anything. Altavista will get the hoop after get the basketball, after the turnover from Dan River.
4:25 remaining here in the third quarter. Colonels trail by 12.
Lance Payne in the ballgame for Altavista. He joins Daquan Poindexter, Mateo Malbeck, Lawrence Galliard, and Josh McClure. Dan River is going to counter with number 33, Zamar Anderson, number 30, Bennett McCann, number 34, Daniel Dickerson, number 22, Jalen Fitzgerald, and number 10, Jaquan Durant. Rare time when number 5, Devin Stone, the senior's not on the court. Maybe the Colonels can take advantage of him not being there. Payne in trouble for a moment, then he'll retreat behind the three-point line and whistle a pass over to Malbeck. McClure driving, got a nice quick first step to get by Zamar Anderson. Count the basket for McClure on the lay-in. Back to a 10-point deficit.
And that's Josh's first field goal of the ball game.
Wow. Good burst of speed to get free. Malbeck nearly got a flipper on a pass. He did. He just poked it out of bounds, couldn't control. Dan River basketball, they'll inbound on the far sideline. We've played just over 4 minutes in this third quarter. It's a 10-point Dan River lead. They're in the road, royal blue, scoring on the bucket to our left. Overhead inbound pass goes to Jalen Fitzgerald. He'll go right back to Daniel Dickerson. He circles the defense left. Around the horn in the left corner it goes. Ends up in the hands of Zamar Anderson. It wasn't intended for him. He can't get the fadeaway jumper to go from 7 feet. Rebounded by Poindexter. Poindexter will high step it into the front court himself. Now he's going to make a move to the hoop. Lost it on the way up. It's out of bounds off Dan River. Colonels will inbound.
I like the change of pace by Daquan. Kind of lulled him to sleep and then accelerated. Could have held onto the ball, would have had a nice little lay-in.
That was nice. Quick inbound goes to McClure. He's fouled. Count the basket. McClure headed to the free throw line, going to try the old-fashioned three-point play. All of a sudden, a little run happening from Altavista. They trail by 8, 48-32.
Chance to cut it to 7, and really starting to get points out of the set offense.
They look more relaxed, more rhythmic, more in control on that set offense now. Devin Stone is back in the ball game for Dan River. Came in for Jalen Fitzgerald. Zamar Anderson lost the handle. So Colonels missed the free throw, but they're going to get a chance for more points. Kenny Murphy, no. He doesn't want a timeout. He just wanted a towel to clean up some moisture that was on the court.
Well, look at Kenny.
He doesn't just coach. He sees stuff like this, and he'll get down there and clean it up. He told the ref, don't worry, I got it. 40-32. The Colonels did think it was a timeout. They went over and huddled up. Good job by Coach Harris there to get a little mini timeout.
Right. Huddled them up and want to make sure that they stay in the rhythm that they're in right now.
40-32. Dan River on top by 8, but a little mini run happening for the Altavista Colonels. They'll inbound. Poindexter bounces along to McClure. He'll fire for a long two, no good. Poindexter rose up nicely and got the rebound. Couple dribbles, picks it up. Here's McClure. Right post. Hands off to a streaking Poindexter. Tried to push the shot to the goal. It got blocked. Galliard had it for a moment. His was blocked. McCann saves it in, and it's tapped out by Poindexter. Good sequence of basketball there. Both teams had some chances. I think Zamar Anderson might have lost a contact. He's pawing at one eye and looking on the ground. He's got the officials looking now, too. That's exactly what happened.
He's got it.
Got it. Play has stopped with 3:14 left in the third.
Little known fact by me, I am a world-class contact finder.
Really?
Absolutely.
How'd you develop that trait? I mean, you're wearing the glasses right now.
You got a teenager that's got contacts, and as much as they cost, when she loses them, you find them.
It's like you got some pit bull in your blood there. 40-32. Dan River basketball. Looks like Anderson has come out for a moment. Nice scoop layup driving there by Jaquan Durant. He scores. It's back to a 10-point Dan River lead. That happened pretty quickly, too. 2:52 left to play in the third. Poindexter streaking into the front court. Passes off the mark and out of bounds. That's a turnover from Altavista.
And the Colonels trailing by 10 with 2:49. They're going to have to be almost perfect from this point in.
Dickerson going to the hoop. Foul. Count the basket. Malbeck thought he could get the feet set and take the charge. He did take the charge. My bad. The signal there from the referee was a hand coming down. It looked like he was saying count the basket. It's an offensive foul. on Daniel Dickerson. Pardon me. Altavista ball. It'll be some full court pressure from Dan River. Malbeck puts one hand on Jaquan Durant. Now pumps the brakes and slows down in between the sideline and half court. Slick bounce pass in the pocket there to find McClure. McClure lost the handle on the way up. They'll say Dan River basketball.
Oh,
well, they teed up Josh McClure.
That's ridiculous.
They got Josh McClure for a technical foul.
That is a ridiculous technical foul.
Referee's going to go to the table and administer the foul. McClure lost it. He didn't like the call, but he wasn't really upset or anything.
He was upset. He just kind of he bent over to pick the ball up and then just flipped it away. That's in this type of ball game. Let the kids decide that there was nothing angry about it. It was just an awful call.
Yeah, he may have said it, come on, man, but I think you're right. I think more of it was directed to himself rather than the official, but you got to be careful. First free throw is knocked down by number 5, Devin Stone. It's an 11-point Dan River lead at the moment. Coach Harris is going to get an explanation.
This official has been up in Coach Harris's face a couple times today. He's been very animated with him.
2:31 left to play in the third quarter. It's brought to you by English's, your complete home center. McClure out for a moment. He's got 3 fouls. Second free throw is off the mark left for Stone. Wouldn't go in, but it'll be Dan River basketball. On the court for the Colonels, Malbeck, Galliard, Mormon, Poindexter, and Bain. Dan River's got Dickerson, Stone, McLaughlin, McCann, and Durant. 2:25 left to play in the third now. Here comes McCann, just right of center. He'll pass backwards to Durant. Durant will slow it down. Crossover dribble, running pass over to the right sideline, finds Dickerson. Dickerson wants to drive now. He's in trouble. Lobs it to the top of the key in McCann. McCann gets it back. Now he and Devin Stone play a little two-man game. We're down to 2 minutes left to play in the third period. Dan River leads by 11. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He's Oscar Briggs. High school hoops on KD Country. Hope you're enjoying it on a Tuesday night. Good possession here from the Wildcats, and then a banker in from Bryson McLaughlin. Kind of shielded the defender with his body and really tossed it in over his shoulder, kind of like a hook shot.
Colonel's trailing by 13. You got to get it in single digits, I think, by the end of this quarter. 1:39 remaining in the third.
Motion offense for Altavista. Galliard coming down the right side of the paint. It was blocked and altered. Basketball going to roll out of bounds. Last touch off Dan River. It'll stop play with 1:29 left in the third. The pep band is here for Altavista. The cheerleaders are here. Nice atmosphere for hoops. Poindexter looking to inbound. Wasn't really satisfied with the way his team was cutting for him. He went to the hoop and got blocked with some contact. No whistle. Dickerson, left-hand dribble, head of steam. Floater off the window, won't fall. Rebound is loose. Controlled by Daquan Poindexter. Then had it poked away from the backside by Jaquan Durant. It's out of bounds, though. It'll stay with Altavista. Officials are letting them play a little bit now, Oscar.
They are.
1:15 left in the third period. 40-foot pass from Poindexter finds Mormon. Here's at the free throw line in Galliard now. It's to Lance Bain at the right wing. 65 seconds left to play in the third period. Altavista down 13.
Well, McLaughlin's doing a good job defensively on Galliard. He's denying the ball.
Bain, penetration. Pull-up jumper from 10 feet was too short. Rebound is loose. Malbeck had to grab it between his legs. Malbeck with a nice floating pass to Galliard. Lawrence finishes from the right side. Good play there by the Colonels to get second chance points. They trail by 11, 45-34.
Kenny Murphy will slow it down. He may look for one now, under 40.
Coach Harris up barking some instructions to his defense. Murphy down on 2 knees now, shouting out some words to the offense. He wants more motion.
I love Kenny Murphy.
I do too. It's man-to-man defense right now for the Altavista Colonels, and they're tightening up a bit. Malbeck trying to keep Durant in front. He can't. He got by him. Quick move there coming in from the right wing. 2 more points for Durant, 2 more for Dan River. Mormon in trouble. He was mugged there as he fired up a one-handed left-hand shot try. He'll go to the free throw line for a pair with 12.9 seconds left in the third period. Brought to you by English's, your complete home center. That's the third one on Bryson McLaughlin. 7th team foul on Dan River.
Have we seen a quicker backcourt than Durant and Stone?
Good grief.
No.
I don't think so.
I can answer the question right away.
Mormon's free throw off the mark right. It actually hit the backboard.
Barely.
Not the rim. It barely did hit the backboard, too. You're right.
I think it hit the padding.
We had an update from Dave Mabry. The Lady Colonels were up 9-2, but that was at the end of the first quarter. They may have gotten a little bit later start than we did. Second free throw, no good. McLaughlin scores with 8 seconds left in the third period. It's a 49-34 Dan River lead. Down to 2 seconds. Malbeck wasn't in a hurry, but he did get off a 50-foot shot attempt, and it was no good. We played 3 here from Altavista. Dan River on top, 49-34. Join us for the fourth period on 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905. Personal, memorable memorial moments, celebrating life and more. Pre-arrangements with confidence, trust and care from our family to yours. Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Fourth quarter getting ready to get started here. Dan River on top by 15. They led by 10 at halftime. We were tied 10-10 at the end of the first quarter. But Dan River, just the athleticism, the rebounding, the defense, and they're converting enough on the offensive end. Altavista's going to have to get really hot shooting, I think, in this fourth quarter, Oscar.
Yeah, they're gonna have to find a way to stop Stone and Durant on their trips to the basket, because they're getting shots at point-blank range. They are so fast off the dribble. 2 steps there exploded by somebody like Mateo Malbeck or Daquan Poindexter. That speaks volumes.
They run that fast break really to perfection, more often than not anyway. We're a few seconds into the fourth quarter here. Dan River basketball attacking the basket to our left. Looks like McClure and Adams headed to the scorer's table. They'll be back in at the next dead ball. Adams is pretty animated over there, trying to pump up his defense at the moment. It's man-to-man defense from Altavista.
Jake's only seen about 3 minutes of action tonight, picking up those 3 fouls.
Dan River content just to play keep away outside the three-point ring.
And you're shortening the game for them. Smart strategy by Murphy.
It really is. And in the end, you try and suck the Altavista defense out and leave some gaps in the interior. Can thought about a 3. Quick pass over to Stone. Stone was driving and he lost it. Poked away by Lawrence Galliard. Good defensive stand there for the Colonels.
It was. It took almost 50 seconds. So.
Galliard's right-hand dribble. Fakes a pass. Now does flip it over to Poindexter. Poindexter will come screen from Malbeck. Doesn't really use it. He'll try an NBA range 3. Just barely nicked the front of the iron. It was too short. Double team against McCann as he was
nice
the
denial play by Lawrence Galliard.
Steal. Ball on the ground. Malbeck dives after it. Somehow sloughs it off to Poindexter. Poindexter's 3-point try won't go in. Rebounded by Devin Stone on the backside. Here come the Wildcats in a hurry again. 3-on-1 fast break. Lay-in won't fall. Anderson's second chance won't go. His third try will fall, though. And there it is right there. Colonels get a steal and a couple shots at the basket. And Dan River ends up getting into a fast break. I mean, that's just how dangerous the Wildcats are.
Boy, and they explode on that fast break. They go from they're like UNLV, Carolina.
51-34. Dan River on top. Poindexter in trouble in the corner. Dribbled out of it, then gave it off to Galliard. Galliard scores. Basketball rolled around. Looked like it might jump out, but it stayed in. 51-36. Points from Lawrence Galliard. Get 4 people waiting at the scorer's table now. 3 of them are Colonels, 1 Wildcat. McCann's shot was blocked. Anderson swoops in to save the day and get the loose ball. He lost the handle. It's picked up on the ground by Malbeck. He turns around and starts the fast break himself. He lost it.
Wow.
Oh, scoop lay in. A razzle-dazzle from Malbeck. And has cut into the Dan River lead again. It's an early 4-0 start. Pardon me, Dan River did have a basket in there. 51-38. Wildcats on top. Malbeck gets a steal at midcourt. He'll go to the basket and fouled by Devin Stone. Malbeck clapping. Gotta like his effort. He's getting into passing lanes and then a pickpocket steal. He's going to the free throw line here. The clock is stopped with 5:32 left in the fourth period. First foul on Devin Stone. Referee's taking some time, letting everybody catch their breath here for a minute. Fourth quarter is presented by English's, your complete home center, your home for Davis Paint. Wintertime, the perfect time to do some painting projects. We'll see the folks at English's. Lady Colonels are up 20-8 at half, down in Ringgold. Here's the substitutes in the ball game for Altavista. Christian Gilbert, Traquan Farmer, Josh McClure. They join Daquan Poindexter and Mateo Malbeck, and it looks like Adams is scheduled to come in for Malbeck. Second free throw up from Mateo is good. That will allow Jacob Adams to get in the ball game with 5:32 left to play. The Colonels have trimmed it to an 11-point deficit. They'll throw some full court pressure at the Wildcats here. Dan Rivers, Jaquan Durant will just take his time, walking it slowly. He's used up about 6 seconds of the 10-second count. Now he's into the front court. Daniel Dickerson has it in the right corner. He bounces down low to Anderson. Anderson more in the mid-post now. Will get another pass. It's all the way across court, left side, over to Jalen Fitzgerald. McLaughlin thought about a jump shot from 17 feet, opted against it, then dribbled in reverse outside the three-point line. 51-40. Now McLaughlin will drive. His layup attempt didn't get anywhere close, and the ball is out of bounds off of a Dan River player. Altavista basketball with under 5 to play.
4:59. Colonels trailing by 11.
Timeout on the court. Kenny Murphy took the timeout. We'll take 30 seconds of it. It's a Dan River lead, 51-40 over Altavista. Just under 5 minutes to play on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
I'm Greg Walker with an exciting new offer from Feller Chevrolet. Purchase any new or used vehicle of Feller's and receive a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty and a 3-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Again, a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 3-day money-back guarantee. At Feller Chevrolet, we stand behind what we sell, and we save you money. Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
A short drive will save you money. Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels trailed by 15 at the end of the third quarter, Oscar, so they've cut into the lead a little bit. They haven't played bad basketball here in this first 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, but I'm afraid they might have to end up playing perfect down the stretch here to beat Dan River.
Yeah, they really are. You got to believe Coach Murphy's going to really go to that spread and really work the ball, work the clock. And the Colonels are going to have to get much more aggressive on defense.
And I doubt Dan River's defense is going to let up much when Altavista has the basketball. Colonels have it now. They've got to inbound and travel the full 90 feet here, and Dan River will back off the full court pressure. Colonels could really use a three-pointer somewhere in this comeback attempt.
Yeah, that was one of the comments I was getting ready to make, is we haven't seen.
Adams lost it, taken away there. Jalen Fitzgerald ran in for the steal, then finishes with a finger roll on the other side for two. Not a great way to come out of the timeout if you're Altavista. If you're Dan Rivers, just what Kenny Murphy wanted. 53-40. Wildcats up 13. Malbeck circles the defense. Coming in from the right side. Hangs and fires from 2 feet. It's good. Nice answer there from Mateo Malbeck and the Colonels. They've got full court man-to-man pressure going on. Adams lost the footing for a moment. They're trying to double team.
Boy, Daquan almost got his hand on that ball.
It might be a 2-3 zone, actually, again. Looks like they're just extending it past the three-point line. Double team there. Adams made some contact, then backed off McLaughlin. It's a scramble type of defense for Altavista. Fitzgerald hangs. He's bodied by McClure. That's going to be Josh McClure's fourth foul.
If Josh would have just held, he did that. He brought his hand down.
Yeah. I think you're right. I mean, not to borrow the Bill Rafferty, but the principle of verticality, I mean, I think if he had just jumped straight up, he would have been okay.
And that's what Coach Troy Harris was telling him.
It's the fourth foul on McClure. It's the second on the Colonels as a team. We've played exactly 4 minutes in this fourth period, and Kenny Murphy's going to get another towel to help clean up some condensation. The coach for Dan River does it all. This time it's sort of in the middle of the lane. Athletic Director Dean Hubbard and event coordinator Robert Duff, they're going to have to hire some towel guys next year, you know, like in the NBA and in college.
Yeah.
I think, why not take it to the next level, right? Just have one guy on each side, you know, give them a hot dog and a soda each game for doing it.
They don't have to have a, suit on like some of these kids do.
Right, yeah.
At the colleges.
You can wear whatever. I mean, as long as it meets the dress code requirements. All right, here comes the free throws from Jalen Fitzgerald. First one rattled around off the mark. Lawrence Gallier is going to check back into ball game for Altavista. He comes in for Traquan Farmer. 4 minutes exactly left to play in regulation. Dan River up 11. We were tied at the end of the first quarter. Wildcats were up 10 at halftime.
And we talked about earlier, it's not who's on the floor in the beginning, it's who's on the floor at the end, and look who's out there now.
Yeah, it looks like the Colonels have what they want. It's Galliard, McClure, Poindexter, and Malbeck. Angela Emerson, the trainer for Altavista, is working on somebody for Dan River's ankle. I can't quite see who it is, though. Devin Stone's now on the court. I think it's Devin Stone. Didn't really see it happen. There's a foul on Zamar Anderson about 25 feet away from the bucket. He got too much of the body on Josh McClure. McClure's going to go to the free throw line and shoot a 1-and-1. It's the 9th team foul on Dan River. It's the 3rd one on Zamar Anderson. Anderson just an absolute beast on the football field. We saw that for 4 full years, and he's a similar type of guy on the basketball court. He'll come out for a breather, though, after his 3rd foul.
He doesn't want to come out.
No, he doesn't. Can't say that I blame him.
Nah.
Better hurry up and get off the court. No, he's staying in. He's just shifting into the backcourt. He did not go out. He's staying in. Almost fooled us. McClure's free throw no good. Adams got up to contest the rebound, but couldn't. Wildcats will bring it up just right of center. That's McLaughlin. Now Adams is scrambling after a loose ball. McLaughlin just
that was a great play.
Bowled it over to Jalen Fitzgerald to keep it by the defense. Oh, it might have been a walk there from Jaquan Durant. He got away with it. Jump pass to the top of the key. Finds Fitzgerald. Now it's back in Durant's hands. Pardon me. Wildcats lead by 12. This is Dickerson. He'll hand off. Now here comes the Wildcats, taking some air out of the basketball. Durant swings the pass over his shoulder. Shot doesn't fall from McLaughlin.
It was blocked by Josh McClure, who kept his hands up that time.
Look at McClure hustling to get into play. Poindexter, left-handed scoop layup doesn't fall.
There was no follow-up by the Colonels.
Wildcats in a hurry now back the other way. This is baseline basketball, full speed. Gilbert's got a steal. Takeaway for Altavista. He goes to the hoop. Front of the basket, scores. Lead down to 10 for Dan River, 54-42. Pardon me, it should be 54-44, correct?
That's right.
Scoreboard hasn't changed yet. There, now it does change. Double team up top. Durant got by it. He'll pull up from 17 feet. It's off the back plate. No good. Zamar Anderson with the rebound. Just
another
shovels
block
off to McLaughlin. Yeah, it was another block from McClure.
I think that's 5 for him tonight.
That sounds right. Might be a little on the short side. Might have 6. Going to come out for a much-needed rest. Don't forget, McClure is playing with 4 fouls as well. 3:13 left in the ball game. It's a 10-point Dan River lead. Nobody marked Daniel Dickerson. He just had an easy bucket from 4 feet away.
He can't have that kind of breakdown.
Just a complete missed assignment. Malbeck in trouble. He got it to go with some English on the finger roll. Wow. It hit the backboard really firmly, and it was like it got glued to the front of the iron and then just got sucked in backwards for 2. 56-46. Dan River on top by 10. It feels closer with 2:42 left to play.
Well, and here's the problem. The Colonels have only committed 2 team fouls. You got to start being a little bit more aggressive, selective in who you're aggressive with.
Oh, there's a foul. Not when you want it to. It was in the act of shooting. Jalen Fitzgerald, the junior for Dan River, gets it to fall from the right side of the 10, and he is fouled. He's got a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play. That's when you don't want to commit the foul when you only have 3 fouls.
Nope, not during the shot attempt. And you've got some people out that that can foul. You certainly want to be able to utilize those 3 fouls and get them into where they have to at least shoot 1-and-1 for a little bit.
Yeah, you need to be able to stop the clock under a minute with the foul if you want to have a legitimate comeback attempt. Good job by Fitzgerald. He converts from the free throw line. It's back up to a 13-point lead for Dan River.
And with 2:30 remaining, Colonels are in dire straits right now.
McClure, three-pointer on the way. High rebound collected. Zamar Anderson falls down. So does Lawrence Galliard. The ball just rolls out of bounds. They say it's last touch off of Galliard. Dan River will inbound here on the sideline. If I'm the Colonels, I think about fouling right here on this inbounds play.
I totally agree.
Because there's 2:21 left in the ball game. Altavista only has 3 team fouls, so Dan River wouldn't be shooting yet.
And it can't be Galliard or Poindexter.
Right.
But what do we know?
They got a turnover anyway. Some high-pressure defense from Lawrence Galliard really just forced McLaughlin into a turnover there. Lost it on the far sideline. Altavista will inbound there. McClure catches, thinks about an immediate three. It's off to Jacob Adams. Now it's to the top of the key between the circles. Ball back, crossover dribble between the legs, studies the defense for a moment. Down to 2:05 left to play in the ball game. Colonel's down 13, can't be real choosy about the shot selection. Poindexter was driving, got the feet taken out from under him. He falls down inside the right side of the lane. He'll go to the free throw line and shoot two. I believe it was on the floor, but it doesn't matter because it's team foul number 10.
That's right. He'll shoot two.
Poindexter enters the ball game a 77% free throw shooter. Colonels as a team haven't been real great from the free throw line. He sinks that one. Farmer is in the ball game for McClure. It's Galliard, McClure, Poindexter, Adams, and Malbeck for Altavista. 2:03 left to play in the ball game. It was back and forth in the first half. We had 4 ties and 4 lead changes. That free throw from Poindexter is short, and nobody got back. It's McLaughlin all alone. He times up his steps and simply lays it in, uncontested.
I mean, that was a breakdown defensive from the Colonels because nobody was back with him on the free throw attempt.
Yeah, got to have at least one guy back there. 61-47. Colonels' hopes are diminishing now. There's a foul at the top of the key by Zamar Anderson. That'll be his 4th. Galliard will step to the free throw line with 1:42 left to play in the ball game. Colonels are going to need something special here as they trail by 14. A good start will be Galliard hitting these 2 free throws. Referee's going to back the players off the court here for a minute while they get another towel to clean up some sweat, some condensation. Some rain outside. I don't know if that contributes to that, Oscar. It seems like we've seen the towels coming out a lot more than usual, doesn't it?
Well, a lot of it's perspiration.
Yeah. It is warm outside.
This looks like it might be a blood situation.
Oh, you're right. You're right. They're sending Daquan Poindexter over to see Angela Emerson.
And Angela's down still working on Stone.
He's still trying to wrap Stone's ankle, and I don't know if this is just a tape job on Stone's ankle to try and get him back in there, or she's just applying ice to it and suggesting that he don't go back into the ball game, suggesting that he doesn't go back into the ball game. Pardon my grammar there. I got a little tongue-tied.
Well, and they're up by 14 with 1:42 left. Quite frankly, there's no need for him to.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, at least not at this point anyway.
But here's a stat. Stone and Durant in the 4th quarter, 0 points.
Wow. That is an interesting statistic. It's a 61-47 Dan River lead, and you're right. There's some blood on the court. That's why play was stopped so quick. And as you said, there's a protocol there. You can't just wipe it up with a towel or a shooting shirt, even though we have seen that at one point this year. The athletic director, Dean Hubbard, gets to get involved in things and get excited, and he'll come over and breathe a sigh of relief over here near our broadcast table. It's a 61-47 advantage for Dan River. Thanks so much for joining us. We've still got 1:42 left to play in the ball game. Wouldn't be the biggest comeback we've seen under 2 minutes, Oscar, but it's pretty rare to come back down 14 points with under 2 minutes to play. But it's happened. It's happened, and it'll happen again, I'm sure. Just a question of, can it happen tonight? First free throw is no good from Galliard. He laughs that off.
That's the only thing you can do at this point.
1:42 left to play in regulation. Second free throw, no good. Ball is still loose. Adams made a valiant effort for it. Zamar Anderson did as well. We're going to get Traquan Farmer, I believe, with a foul for Altavista. This is just his first. Team foul number 4.
Yeah, they need to make 2 more.
Anderson finds a streaking Daniel Dickerson on the inbound pass.
Gilbert's trying to foul him. He's trying to track somebody down to foul him.
Yeah, he got a steal instead. He and Adams sort of battled each other for the steal. Now Gilbert has it on the far sideline. Adam gets it in the paint. Now he kicks out to Malbeck. Malbeck's three-pointer, no good. Galliard's stick-back try won't fall. The ball is still loose. Jacob Adams has it again on the left elbow. He bounces off to Gilbert. 1:15 left to play in the ball game. Again, Colonels can't be real choosy. They lost the basketball. Adams just had it poked out of his hands by McLaughlin. He'll slow it down. Now it's Daniel Dickerson, and he's fouled by Christian Gilbert. I like what Gilbert was doing there, though. He was being overly physical. He figures if they're not going to call a foul, maybe I can get the field as well.
No, I like that. And we've said it earlier in the season that as the season wears on, and he's just a sophomore. As this season starts to wear, you'll start to see Christian Gilbert get some more and more minutes. He has a lot to bring to this team. Offensively, he's strong with the ball, can run the point. Defensively, he's always in the right position.
Anderson inside, muscles Jacob Adams out of the way. Gets 2 points to fall from the left side of the hoop. 63-47. Wildcats up a full 16 now, and this may be enough for Coach Harris to call up the Dogs. Lance Baines fakes the three-pointer, drives in, one step inside the free throw line, and knocks down the jumper. 63-49. 40 seconds left in our ball game. There's a timeout from Coach Kenny Murphy. Let's take the timeout, too. Altavista. No, they're just going to put some substitutes. Well, not sure what's happening just now.
He had said just rotate through, and Coach Harris told his kids stay out on the floor. That's what they're doing.
Dan River looked like they were going to take a timeout, but they don't. Let's keep it here. It was just a timeout to get some substitutes in. Coach Kenny Murphy didn't really have the message he wanted to impart to his ball club. We've got 35 seconds left in the game. 63-49, Dan River on top. Dickerson guarded by Gilbert. Gilbert tried to poke it away from the backside. Looks like the Colonels' comeback effort is pretty much over. We're down to 25 seconds left in the game. They've got Andrew Shelton in the ball game now, does Dan River. He joins Bennett McCann, Jalen Fitzgerald, number 12, Reggie Venable Jr., number 34, Daniel Dickerson. Another basket for Dickerson and the Wildcats. They lead 65-49 now. Adams lost the handle. It's picked up by Venable Jr. We're down to 5 seconds left. Fitzgerald tried to slam there at the buzzer, maybe put the cherry on top of a nice win, and he was a little bit out of range. Ball goes out of bounds. Colonels have to inbound with 1.3 seconds left. But it's a Dan River victory, 65-49. Colonels just could not get back in this ball game. They trailed by 10 at halftime. Dan River did enough in the second half to pull away. Subway post-game show on the way when you return to 105.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today.